JDW SportsTalkShow, where every fan is welcome. Can Trevor Lawrence make the big year two jump that a lot of great quarterbacks make? Some quarterbacks come out year one and they're just amazing. Wasn't the case for Trevor Lawrence, one of the best prospects in college football history. Did not have a great year one. He's not used to failing. He's not used to losing like that. But him going to Jacksonville, first year, not great. Second year leap, looking a lot better, looking a lot more promising than the first year. You look at the supporting cast, he's got some more weapons. No top tier weapons, but no bottom of the line weapons. The wide receiver room is solid throughout. Running backs, you got solid running backs. You got a power back in James Robinson. You got a receiving back, a guy that could come out of the backfield and could run in Travis Etienne, his former teammate from Clemson. Offensive line is looking better. You got a big playmaker at tight end. Inconsistent, but much better than he had last year. Hopefully his receivers catch the ball more. Hopefully his receivers don't make him look as terrible as he did last year, as they made him look last year. So one of the best prospects coming out of Clemson, and everyone thought he was going to be pretty darn good right away. But you also have to take into consideration what he had to work with over in Jacksonville. You look at all of his numbers; all of them are underwhelming. You look at the passing yards; he had 3,641. You want like 4,200 at least. In this game, you want at least at the bare minimum, you want at least 4,000 passing yards. 4,200, 4,300. That becomes where you really want your quarterbacks to be throwing every season consistently. Go to passing touchdowns. 12 passing touchdowns isn't gonna cut it. You're gonna need like 25 at the bare minimum. But you want your quarterback to be throwing 27 to 31 touchdowns, especially with another week added on. You're going to want 27 to 31 touchdowns at least. And then you go to the interceptions. Too many interceptions. Now, it's okay to throw a lot of interceptions. Aggressive quarterbacks throw a lot of interceptions. He's an aggressive quarterback, but he's very talented, very accurate, very smart. Not like he's just throwing them to throw them. Not like he's just throwing them like the heck of it, hoping something happens. There's a logical reason behind why he's throwing something. He's a smart player. He doesn't have a cannon like Josh Allen, like Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. But his arm talent, his accuracy, his throw on the run, it's amazing. His throw under pressure, it's amazing. Not many quarterbacks could do this. Not many quarterbacks are this smart, this instinctive, this, love the game so much. So, you'd much rather have a quarterback be aggressive than have to teach him it. Once a quarterback is aggressive or conservative, there's no changing it. You go and you look at Jameis Winston, one of the very rare exceptions. Jameis Winston was very aggressive. He had the 30-30 season in Tampa Bay with Bruce Arians. And, the 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. And he threw a lot of he threw a lot of picks over in Tampa Bay, even before that. That's why he's been very underwhelming as a, number one overall pick. Then he went to New Orleans, played with Sean Payton, and he was just a different quarterback. He's a little more conservative, taking more checkdowns, but he was still making some big plays downfield. Jameis Winston is on a path to becoming a much better quarterback. If he can continue what he did from last year, ACL tear sucked. If he can continue that, I have high hopes for the kid. But, then you look at guys like, Mitch Trubisky, Jacoby Brissett. There are guys like those that they're very conservative and they're check down Nelly. It's not, check downs aren't bad. But when there's an open guy down the field, when you could be more aggressive, open the defense up, keep them guessing, you need to. And with Trevor Lawrence's smarts, with his aggressiveness, defense have to be on their toes every single play, every single drive, every game. They have to be in their A game. He's too smart. You can't outsmart this kid. He's young, yeah. And, you give him another year or two, and he's going to be, a top quarterback. Maybe, hopefully. One of the best prospects in history. So you definitely want to see those yards coming up to around 4,200 passing yards. You want to see the passing touchdowns come up from like 27 to 30, 25 at the bare minimum. And you want the interceptions to be like 10, 9, 11, something around that lane, around that range. So then you look at his supporting cast. It's much better than it was. It is much better than it was. Oh, and the coach. Forgot to mention the coach. There's only so far you can go with a crappy head coach. Urban Meyer's one of the worst head coaches in history. Didn't fly with his team at times because he wanted to party, he wanted to do all this crazy stuff. Was not a very good coach, was not a good leader, not a good person. And, it showed within the locker room, it showed within the team, showed on the field. So, with the new coach, Doug Peterson, former Super Bowl champion coach, he has a ring. I'm really excited to see him come back to football with a different team, with a generational talent at quarterback. And I'm really excited to see what the offensive line is going to do. As I mentioned earlier, you look at the wide receivers, they're solid. None of them are top heavy. None of them are top 10 wide receivers. Maybe not even top 15. But Marvin Jones, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, top 3 options according to PFF. And then you go and you look at the ESPN depth chart, you get to see the rest. Laviska Shenault, Laquan Treadwell, Jamal Agnew, Marvin Hall. As you can see, this wide receiver room is more spread out. The talent is more spread out, which is very good. I absolutely love that, because when you just have one very good wide receiver, the good defensive coordinators, the good defenses will shut that down. The good defenses will shut that offense down if you're too reliant on one receiver. So when you have multiple, you can't, none of them are really worthy of double teaming. But, you can't really double team them anyways, because you have so many solid options that get the job done. It's kind of difficult to have to focus on one. You can't. All these guys are capable of having a big game here and there. Marvin Jones is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. He scores a lot of touchdowns, gets a decent amount of yards. And then you look at the offensive line. He's going to have more time than last year. Cam Robinson's back. You got Brandon Scherf. Injury issues is big question with him. You have Juwan Taylor over there. So the offensive line is much better than it was last year. Much better already with the addition of Brandon Scherf. This Jaguars offensive line is going to be better. Is it going to be great? Is it going to be top 10? Top 12? Maybe top 17? I see them being average. Nothing great, nothing bad, nothing absolutely terrible. They're going to get the job done. Give Trevor Lawrence a little more time. Don't let him get hit every 5 plays. Then you have Evan Ingram, and you also have Arnold, right? Dan Arnold. So, both solid tight ends. I like Dan Arnold. So, Evan Ingram is going to be a tight end that's going to help spread the field out. Defenses are going to have to pay attention to him, even though, he is a very inconsistent option. He is a big play threat at the same time. So, you do got to watch him, do got to stay on him, do got to make sure he doesn't get open and get an easy catch. Even though those, it's kind of weird. Those are the ones that he drops and he catches the crazy hard ones to catch. It's kind of weird, but it's just how he works, I guess, just how it goes. So then you look at the running back. You have another wide receiver option in the running back room in Travis Etienne. You could even line up Laviska Shenault in this slot and have him come out of the backfield as wide receiver. Very good running back and wide receiver. Kind of like a Deebo Samuel Laviska Shenault is. Just not one that no one talks about. Didn't really have a legit chance. A lot of those kind of players, a lot of those Laviska Shenaults, Cordell Pattersons, Deebo Samuels, a lot of teams have a hard time just using these players on a consistent level to really be a solid player, But, Deebo Samuel is one of those players that they found out, but Cordell Patterson is the total opposite, Falcons figured him out, but a lot of other teams couldn't even figure him out. I mean, damn, the Patriots couldn't. If Bill Belichick and the Patriots couldn't, and Josh McDaniels, that's something, but the Falcons did wild, you'd be surprised. Then you go and you talk about James Robinson. Man, is this dude talented. Undrafted, and he is amazing. Powerful, can run, fast, good ball carrier vision. Love the kid. Hardworking kid, very good kid. So yeah, could Trevor Lawrence make the year 2 jump? Supporting cast is looking better. Got a better coaching staff. You got, Trevor Lawrence getting a whole year, getting a whole offseason worth of tape. But that also means other teams have a whole year of tape on him as well. So, can go both ways there. But nonetheless, man, Trevor Lawrence has a chance to make a pretty nice jump in year 2. Now, is it going to be a jump? Is it going to be MVP, 40 touchdowns? No, probably not. Is it going to be, a solid year, 27 to 30 touchdowns, 4,200 passing yards? Maybe a 65 plus completion percentage. Would like to see a jump in that as well. So hopefully his wide receivers can be more consistent. Last year had a lot of drops, a lot of touchdown drops, a lot of drops on the middle of the field. Just when receivers are open, Lawrence makes an amazing play. Wide receivers just can't finish the play. Hopefully these receivers can do that on a more consistent level. No, Marvin Jones can. Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, questionable. I like the kid from the Lions, Marvin Hall. He had a big game in Thanksgiving. I like to see that kid get a chance. I like to see him see how he does when he is a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. So I'm really excited for this team. You look at the defense; they had some nice additions as well. I'm really excited to see what this team has for this year. They do still have a lot of work to do. Defense isn't going to be great. I like Andre Sisco, the kid from Syracuse, is still a boomer bust prospect. You had Devin Lloyd. Also drafted Chad Muma, very underrated linebacker from Wyoming. I'm excited to see him in action. You got Trayvon Walker, hopefully he turns out. Josh Allen. You look at this team, Shaquem Griffin, you look at this team, and, it's a team that's going to be solid. They're going to be able to compete, especially with the talent they have a quarterback. When you have talent like that, a quarterback, you have a chance to compete in any game, every game. You're going to be in every game. But when you start to give them a decent supporting cast, nice coaching staff, when you start giving your quarterback some love, when you start showing him that he's the guy, you got to build around him, help him out, that's when things start really heading north. That's when things really start looking good. So hopefully we see some big jumps from players with the Jaguars. Hopefully we see some of those, and yeah, I'm excited for this young quarterback. I'm excited to see what he has in store for the NFL. I hope he goes and he gets some big wins this year. Great kid, love the kid. He is already given to charity at times. Love the kid, very good kid, very smart, very talented. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and put the post notification bell on so I'm sending future videos. That's all I got for you today. This is